Yeah. 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 Mystic Matt turned fives to stacks. Harley King bets rolling like tracks. Doubters gonna hate, but the cheddar's fat. UFC nights turning pennies to racks. Spread too wide, Vegas holding the breath. Pots and parlays betting like nothing left. Pull the underdog moves like a chess grandmaster. Break the bank, they'll respect you faster. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange. $5, $10, pocket rocket. Fight night knowledge, stacking thicket. Vegas odds shaking, they can pick it. Mystic Matt, every win a ticket. Cash coming in, steady river flow. Count it out, often doubters laying low. Parlay stacked, high pro, gamma show. Mystic's foresight, bets overflow. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange.
And what's going on, everyone? It is Friday here on the Golden Octagon. The green lights are on, baby. That means it is time for the excuse me. It is time for the one and only change to Cheddar, baby. Change to Cheddar, baby, here on the Golden Octagon. My connection's not doing too great here, and because it is a UFC pay-per-view, I like to have a guest here, and I have none other than D-Rose here on the channel. What's going on, D-Rose?
What is up, dude? What is up? Grateful to be back on the show. Hopefully, we can try to lean these boys in the right direction, try to make some money this weekend, because I know that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, man, excited to talk some bets, try to make us a little cheddar here, and we'll even show you guys. We got some pay for the pay-per-view parlays as well, and we'll try to get the pay-per-view for free this weekend.
All right. With that being said, let's shout out the chat. There's a lot going on, D-Rose. We got Riley becoming a member for 3 months. TGO is like church for me. So confession time. I think I'm in love with Nina Drama. She's so fun, has a great attitude and personality. And then the dog too.
you know what I will say? Is she annoying? Yes, but she's got some things about her that I can see why fans gravitate towards her. Let's say that.
Riley says, "Marry me, Nina." Shout out, Riley.
Dude, MMA fans are, you know what I mean? When it comes to like women, oh my gosh, yeah.
And then D-Rose, shout out Tim, dude, with the biggest choo-choo over here on the Golden Octagon that I've ever seen, dude. Shout out Tim. Thank you, Tim. $50 donation, D-Rose. That's the biggest one we've ever had here on the channel. So, Tim, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. I will have to wait, a month or two to get it from YouTube, but it'll be fantastic when I do get it, Tim. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it, man. So here we go. You heard him, boys. Fight week appreciation. Annie up. And then Riley does his deeds and drops the $5 Canadian. Thank you, Riley. You are a true gentleman.
Dropping the bomb.
Choo-choo. Already getting the green lights lit up here on the channel. I appreciate it, you guys. Man, my connection today is not the best in the world. So when I'm trying to click the things, they don't want to click. This week has me flip-flopping like a MF. Me too, Tim. Me too. But I'm going to stand up for my picks, and I'm going to stick to them, man. I feel very fantastic about a few after the weigh-ins. That donation was sponsored by Heineken Silver. I appreciate it, Tim. Same, Tim. I don't know if I want Nino or Strickland. Oh my goodness, you need help, Riley. Get some help. Get some help, Riley. We got Daniel Aker in here with the LFG. Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Daniel. We got Austin. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Austin. Glad you made it tonight in here, brother. Dirty mix. I like it. Oh, goodness. All right. Here we go. So we're coming down to the end. We are about caught up. Well, there was we got Austin saying good shit, Tim. Indeed, that was a good one from Tim. Tim, that's one hell of a donation from Austin. You rule. The best guest indeed. Let's go. And then Tim is a PIMP. Yeah. Shout out, Tim. You are like the early 2000s 50 Cent, dude. I don't know what you heard about me. All right. So with that being said, D Rose, we are all caught up on the chat. So what you guys can look forward to on the show today is me and D Rose to go through every one of the prelims, early prelims, regular prelims, all the way up to the main card. We're going to give you our thoughts and predictions on every single one of the fights post weigh-in. I got screenshots of all that good shit. And then midway through the show, I got some parlays to show you guys. D Rose sent over a couple parlays for us to show you guys. And then lastly, I'll let D Rose pick the fight for the Predict the Fight game this week for our members. And I'll show you what the prize is for this week. So with that being said, D Rose, we will get started at the first topic on the show. And all the way at the first fight of the there's a comment here. Let me see. Let's see what he say. He say MFF. Indeed, Riley. So first fight of the night, D Rose. We do have it is. Let me get it here. Hopefully it'll pull up on the screen for us. Man, now I gotta take my banners off. See, it's not fun. I just put it scrolling across the bottom. But first fight of the night is Ricky Simone taking on Vinicius.
Mr. Lope Dog?
That's me.
Oh, you're next.
Mr. Lock Dog?
Hey, what's up, baby?
Yeah, right.
You all right?
Yeah, no.
All right, girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinicius Lock Dog Oliva, dude. Yeah, this is a fun one. This is one that was, I think, a little hard for me to call earlier in the week because I was like, man, Ricky can get chinned. But at the same time, I do think he has the wrestling to and the veteran savviness to do what he needs to do all 3 rounds to get the decision win. So I did end up picking Ricky Simone. I believe you went the other way on this with Lock Dog Vinicius Oliveira, but I'm going to stick with my pick, dude. And there's a few props on this fight that I don't mind. I don't mind Ricky Simone via decision at plus 195. Ricky Simone 3 or decision is plus 130. But if you want to get real tricky, the Ricky Simone sub 2-3 prop is plus 700, and I don't mind that either. But I personally see Ricky Simone submission round 3 over Lock Dog Vinicius Oliveira. So you want to talk about this one a little bit, and have you switched your pick, and where's your lean at after seeing the weigh-ins? Also, odds on this fight, minus 245 Ricky Simone, plus 200 Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah, those are you're getting those from FanDuel, right? Yeah, that's where I'm getting them from too. Okay, yeah. So in terms of how I'm feeling for the fight, I'm still going to stick with Vinicius Oliveira here. I think that if you're asking me personally, I think the face-offs kind of gave me a little bit more confidence because I'm telling you, it looks like Ricky Simone can make 125 compared to the new age of bantamweights.
Did you see him this morning?
I mean,
he this morning. He looked terrible this morning on the scale. Like his awful look on his
Like,
face this morning, but he looked
yeah,
good
his
at
face
the
is
ceremonial.
his face is definitely sucked in, but dude, he's bricked up. So I'm going to imagine that it's going to be hard for him to make 125. But I'm just saying it in terms of like, dude, I swear I remember at one point in time when he fought Brian Kelleher, he looked so much bigger than Brian Kelleher. And now it's like Mario Bautista towered over him. Song Yadong, who's not a big guy, kind of towered over Ricky Simone. And I think Vinicius Oliveira can kind of do the same thing. And I think as long as he can avoid the takedowns, keep it on the feet, I just think he's the more dynamic striker and more versatile ways to finish a fight. So for me, the value is all there on Vinicius Oliveira at the plus 200 line. So, and you'll see that I'm playing that in the parlay here in just a little bit. Yeah, I think Vinicius Oliveira really does have a shot here, and with the youth athleticism and power that he has, yeah, I think there's a very good chance that he can get it done. If not, I would. If you're not feeling the Vinicius Oliveira, I probably would take that over 2.5 because
the over.
Yeah, I take the over just because I think if you don't think that Vinicius Oliveira is going to be able to get it done, I don't think Ricky Simone is going to get the finish. I could see a lot of control, maybe some back control, a little bit of, petty ground and pound, but I could see Ricky Simone wrestling his way to a decision win. And that over 2.5 is minus 106 right now. So I would be willing to play that if I'm not going to play Vinicius Oliveira. But for me personally, the value is there for Vinicius Oliveira plus 200 to play that.
See, me, I'm on the exact opposite. I'm on Ricky, and I think that if you are not on him, I think you should play the under because if this goes to decision, I think it's probably like Ricky Simone grinding out 3 rounds over a decision, whereas if Oliveira wins, it's probably going to be an early knockout, and the sub factor is still there for Ricky Simone. But yeah, it looks like me and you still split on this one, first fight of the night. I'm still on Ricky Simone. D Rose still on Vinicius Oliveira, but I truly think it could go either way. I think both fighters could finish the other one. D Rose doesn't think as much, so it's okay. It's okay. We can disagree, and it's all right. We've got Linz the Rock. What's going on, Linz the Rock? Glad you're able to make it by here tonight, my guy. And what was that? That was Lock Dog. Tim is also a fan of Lock Dog as the underdog, and we got D Hunt stopping in. What's going on, D Hunt? Appreciate you stopping by tonight, my guy. So we'll move on to the next fight of the night, which is Ray Sayara taking on Carlos Hernandez. And this is the face-off photo that I got because right after this, he did some kind of like karate squat. I don't know. It was weird. So this is the best face-off photo that I could get, but it looks like Carlos Hernandez looks like he's a couple inches taller than Ray Sayara here. Yeah, currently odds for this fight minus 450 Ray Sayara, plus 350 Carlos Hernandez. The over under on this was 1.5 earlier in the week, and it's been changed now to 2.5. So if you got in on the over 1.5, I don't hate that. I also don't mind the the fight to start round 2 as a solid parlay piece at minus 290. But a lot of people are fans of Ray Sayara, and they have high hopes for him. But from what I've seen, dude, he just pretty much sells out for the wrestling, and he is absolutely gassed by the second round. So the prop that I'm going to be looking at is going to be Ray Sayara by points at plus 230 on FanDuel. Yeah, Ray Sayara points plus 230. That's where I'm leaning. But if you're on the other side, Carlos Hernandez by points is plus 650. He is a UFC vet. Probably not the worst play in the world. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
I'm still sticking with Sayara here, but in terms of betting, dude, I am not sniffing this fight because I have no idea who this could go. I can see it going to decision. I can see Sayara getting an early finish. I can see Carlos Hernandez end up stopping a bunch of the takedowns in the first round, and all of a sudden getting the second win in the second and third round and taking over and winning the fight. I do not trust this fight to play whatsoever on any line. I'm not trying to be short, but on this one, I'm not going to lie, dude. I got zilch on this fight because I just don't have any strong leaning any way whatsoever. And yeah, I'm not getting caught betting on Ray Sayora at, what is he, minus 450 right now on FanDuel? Yeah, if I put that in a parlay piece and he ends up getting crushed by Carlos Hernandez, because I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the dude's coming from road to the UFC. I doubt he's facing the best of competition, and he's only 9-0, while Carlos Hernandez has been in the UFC for a little bit. So I can really see this fight going either way. So for me, I ain't playing that fight at all. I'm not playing it.
All right, we'll move on to the next one where we have Baddies Martin Budai taking on the Pitbull Andre Arlovski. Currently odds for this fight minus 260 for Martin Budai and plus 215 for Andre Arlovski. Yeah, man, I am on Martin Budai by sub here. Martin Budai by sub is plus 470 currently, but if you want to take a look at the prop subs, Martin Budai sub 1 or 2 is plus 650, and Martin Budai sub 2 or 3 is plus 950. I personally think we see a Martin Budai round 2 submission, because I feel like once Andre gets there on the ground and you just grab a neck or something like that, he's just ready to tap. He's old. He's just there doing it for fun, getting a paycheck for the most part. So give me Martin Budai second round submission. Which way are you going here, D Rose?
Yeah, still sticking with Martin Budai. I mean, in terms of, again, I think you kind of had me like thinking, like, was I being a little bit hard on Martin Budai? Like the other day,
he's
like,
only lost one time in the UFC.
Yeah, but it was against Shamil Gaziev, and we saw how he looked in his last fight. So yeah, Martin Budai is not a world beater by any means, but he should be able to get the job done against an absolutely shot Andre Arlovski. For me, I want to go submission, but I know that Martin Budai does have a few decisions mixed in there. So for me, I'm actually going to play this personally myself. Martin Budai by submission or decision. You can play that on double chance. It's a double chance bet that you can use on FanDuel. You can get that at minus 130 right now. I like that as a parlay piece, just because I think that that would be the two ways to go. And Martin Budai minus 260 right now. I don't like that, but hey, you give me the two easiest methods on how he's going to win the fight. I'm probably that's going to be the one that I'm going to have the most confidence in. So Martin Budai by decision or submission, double chance bet, and that's at minus 130 on FanDuel right now.
Yeah, cuts it in half for the most part. So I don't mind it either. We got Alex B. Yo, sorry, I'm like, it's all right, Alex. Glad you're able to make it tonight, brother. Hope you had a good Friday. Hope you had a good week. We got Ray saying, just pulled an Ortega out of a blaster. I'm nervous for Diego now. Yeah, man. We got Manny Sanchez. What up, Matt and D-Rose? What's going on, Manny? Glad you're able to make it tonight here, brother. Hang out with us, get our fight picks for this evening. So we'll move on to the next one, where we have Michelle, the karate hottie, Waterson Gomez, taking on Julian, the Savage Robertson. Yeah, man, both fighters looked good, dude. Jillian is big for 115, man. Dude, I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's like she looks like she's on death's door in the mornings, but she still looks happy. Like her eyes are so sunken in, but still look cheerful. So I expect her to fill out quite a bit by tomorrow. On the other hand, we know what we're getting with Michelle Waterson at this point now. She's a little bit older in the game. We've seen her a ton, and yeah, man, I just my thoughts and opinions haven't really changed much, and neither have the odds. So currently odds for this fight, minus 188 for Julian Robertson, plus 158 for Michelle Waterson. And if you're on the Michelle Waterson side, I imagine you see her winning by points, and that is plus 220. But me personally, I am on Julian Robertson via submission at plus 210. I also don't hate her by points at plus 230. But if you want to cover kind of two bases at once, Julian Robertson 3 or decision is plus 155. And if you want to get real risky, like me, which is things that I do, Jillian Robertson sub 2 or 3 D-Rose is plus 450. So give me Jillian Robertson second round submission over Michelle Watterson. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, no, that's not too bad. Because Michelle Watterson has only, to my knowledge, she's only been submitted twice in her career. And I do believe both times was after the first round as well against Rose and Amanda Lemos. I believe they were both in the second round actually. So I do like that play as well. I also like Jillian Robertson by submission as well. I do think she ends up getting it done. I think, as you said, dude, her size advantage. She's huge for 115. And she's a great submission artist. I believe she has the most submissions for any female, regardless of division. Correct?
Yep.
Like, yeah, she has the most submissions ever. So, arm bars, rear naked chokes, she can do just about it all. So I do like Jillian Robertson to get the submission at a plus 210. And honestly, for her to be minus 188, I think she should be a bigger favorite. That's not a bad parlay piece to me. Just to play the money line at minus 188 right now, you can get that at, still under that 200 range. That's definitely worth a parlay piece if you're thinking about that as well.
I agree, man, fully. I think she is a solid parlay piece, along with Martin Budai as well. I ain't never seen a TKO by Titty Punch before. Yeah, go watch Tamaris Vidal versus Melissa Gatto, Riley. You'll be like, what the hell just happened? So we'll move on to the next one. A lot of people's main event of the evening. We've got Peyton Talbot taking on Giannis Gamori, dude. Currently odds for this fight, they've dropped the Rose since Wednesday. They were minus 2,200 then, but
I mean, they needed
now.
to, dude.
They've dropped now. Minus 1,800 Peyton Talbot, plus 980 for Giannis Gamori, dude. And I'm gonna leave it like this. I think Peyton Talbot knuckles up Giannis in the first round, and halfway through the second round, to the point where he don't want to be on the feet no more, and he shoots for a takedown. So once again, dude, give me Peyton Talbot, second round submission, dude. And listen to these odds, dude. Peyton Talbot, the combo props, Peyton Talbot sub 2 or 3, dude, is plus 1,100, man. So I do have that parlayed up in my retirement parlay that I'm going to show y'all later on. Peyton Talbot plus 1,100 sub 2 or 3. Yeah, give me Peyton Talbot sub 2 here. Once again, which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, still sticking with Peyton Talbot here, and still think he gets to finish. I think the same round method as you're thinking, but I am thinking that he's going to get it done by KO TKO. I think that he has. I think after that Cameron Simon fight, I know that he's had the wrestling background, and I believe he had the submission in the Contender Series fight and the and his first fight coming into the UFC as well. So I know that he is prone to getting submissions, but I could definitely see him outstriking a striker. And Cameron Simon, he's going to fall in love with his hands a little bit. And if you go back to the Cameron Simon fight, dude, he set up so many shots so well in that fight, like in terms of just, reading where Cameron Simon was going to go and, timing knees and uppercuts and, hooks, check hooks as Cameron Simon was blasting in. So I think Peyton Talbot's going to be definitely feeling it on the feet. And I think for me, he hasn't had a first round finish in his career so far. So let's try to keep that streak alive here. And you can get him on the KO TKO round combos. You can get him by KO rounds 2 or 3 at plus 185. I think if there's anything for me that I'm going to be willing to play, it's going to be that, because of course that minus 1,800. I mean, you're not going to be able to do anything with that. You can maybe do like a round start prop. Maybe start round 2. It's not the greatest odds. It's minus 320. You can maybe play that in a parlay, but for me, if I'm playing anything on this, it's going to be Peyton Talbot KO TKO rounds 2 or 3 at plus 185.
Dude, I miss the old DraftKings, like when I very first got into betting, dude. Like I used to be able to do bet 2-3 prop, like didn't matter how. So I could bet like Peyton Talbot 2 or 3. Like, but they've changed it now, like where I can only bet 1 or 2 or 3 or decision. But 2-3 used to be an option, dude. And I used to hit on that one all the time because most of the finishes come in second or the third round. A lot of them don't come in the first round, especially in like the lower weight classes and such. Man, this thing today is getting on my nerve. I'm trying to click it, man. Work.
And in the higher levels of MMA as well. Like once you're getting to like, closer to that top tier contender. I mean, Robert Whittaker just got rid of Ikram, but Ikram wasn't ready for that level yet either. But when you're talking like most champs and stuff, they end up fighting, around then, they end up playing out the same way.
Has any of the fights started? No, they will be tomorrow night, Ethan. Good advice on D Rose on Talbot. Yeah, probably smarter. So we'll move on to the next fight, which is, I believe, Charles Air Jourdain taking on Jean Silva. So close odds for this fight: -112 for Air Jourdain and -104 for Jean Silva. This is another one me and you are split on. Jean Silva, as you see, I highlighted it in red there. He did miss weight, 147.5 pounds. So he did miss weight by 1.5 pounds. And, he's clearly the smaller guy of the two. And, after the face off, I heard Air Jourdain say, "That's very unprofessional. You miss weight," and he was not happy. So, I still got Jean Silva to come in there and bark at him. This will probably be a fight of the night, dude. This will probably should be stopped a few times, but it's not going to be, dude. So give me Jean Silva to win this fight via points at currently plus 300 D-Rose. But once again, if you want to cover yourself, be a little bit safe, Jean Silva 3 or decision is plus 220. But I am going Jean Silva via points, man. I'm assuming you are on the Air Jourdain side here, and let the people know.
I am still going to stick with Charles Jourdain. I think he lost his last fight against Sean Woodson, but man, Sean Woodson's going to be a tough matchup for anybody because he has really good takedown defense and he's absolutely huge for the division. And his boxing is great. So I think Charles Jourdain lost against a good opponent there. And for me, I don't see how Jean Silva finishes Charles Jourdain. I mean, he's fought guys, I feel a lot tougher than Silva here. I mean, he's fought like Andre Fili, Duho Choi, Nathaniel Wood, he's fought Juicy J, he's fought all kinds of guys, and he's only been finished once in his career. So I just don't see Jean Silva getting the finish. I don't know. I'm trying to actually recall at the top of my head if I've ever seen Charles Jourdain get hurt in a fight. Like, I don't think I've ever even seen him get hurt. And that's he's fought guys like Shane Burgos and, a lot of guys like that as well. So I do think this fight is going to end up going to a decision if Charles Jourdain is to get the win. And I am going to stick with that. You can also do, if you're not going to do by decision, which Charles Jourdain by decision is plus 195 right now on FanDuel. You could also do double chance, which is one of the things that I'm going to be willing to play. And don't be surprised if Jean Silva ends up walking forward, getting just a little bit sloppy, going for a takedown, and he leaves that neck open because Charles Jourdain does have a very good guillotine if you end up leaving your neck out there to be taken. So he can take that. And I do like the double chance prop for Charles Jourdain by decision or submission. And right now you can get that at plus 130. So you can still get it at plus odds. So I'd like to play that. And honestly, for the fight to be a pick'em, I'm pretty confident in Charles Jourdain. So I think the money line for him, is just as good. But you can maybe boost it up just a little bit into the plus territory with that double chance by decision or submission at plus 130.
Looks like we are split again, D-Rose. I am still on Jean Silva via decision. You haven't convinced me otherwise. We'll move on to the next one, where we have Andre Touchy-Feely taking on killer Cub Swanson, dude. Andre Feely just a lot bigger, man, and yeah, I just feel like the range and the distance is just going to be the story to this fight, man. Leg kicks, jabs for Andre Feely. Andre Feely should win this fight via decision. Currently, odds for this fight plus 190 for Killer Cup Swanson, minus 230 for Andre Fili. I don't really feel like they should be that wide, but they are. Andre Fili to win by points is plus 230, and that's how I expect it. But to be honest, man, I'm not too confident in this fight. So this is not in a lot of my parlays. I might have it to like start round 2 here and there, but I don't have much confidence in that fight. I'm still going Andre Fili by points. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Cub Swanson, but
this one ain't the pick champ, so you ain't got much to worry about.
Right, exactly. And that's the reason why I took it off, because I wanted to see how they faced off against one another. And Andre Fili was a lot bigger than anticipated facing off with Cub Swanson there. So I was not anticipating that size disadvantage for Cub. So I think it's going to might be a little bit tougher for him to close the range than what I was kind of thinking. So I am backpedaling just a little bit on Cub Swanson, but I'm still gonna stick with my pick. But if I was to play anything, the way that Cub Swanson typically gets finished, he got finished by leg kicks by Jonathan Martinez, but he was cutting down to 135. He completely drained himself to get down to 135. So we can disregard that. Plus, Jonathan Martinez is one of the best leg kickers in the game. He ended up getting put out by the Giga kick, which Giga was putting a lot of dudes out with that kick, and he hit him right in the body, and he ended up getting finished by a flying knee. I don't think Charles Jourdain, or it was a flying knee by Jose Aldo, by the way, one of the greatest featherweights ever. So I don't think Andre Fili has the finishing ability to get Cub Swanson out of there. I can see him really just boxing Cub Swanson up, trying to get in the range, and Cub Swanson making it a dogfight, but I can see it being close, and this fight still going to a decision. You can get the fight to go to the decision right now at plus 120 on FanDuel. So I would probably play that. Or right now you can get round 3 to start in that fight at minus 130. So if you're a little scared about maybe a late finish or so, even to start round 3 is minus 130. So for me, that's a pretty good parlay piece if you're wanting to play something like that. But I am like you, not going to put too much action on this fight.
Yeah, I feel you. We got Tim saying so many close fights this week. Indeed, Tim. There's a lot of really close line fights. That's why me and D Rose are split on 6 of the fights. So on 13 fights, we got six different ones that we are split on. This week separates the men from the boys betting wise. Yeah, indeed. But hopefully those boosts on FanDuel and DraftKings will help y'all out just a little bit. I will show y'all both the ones that I have made. So we'll move on to the next one where we got Body Bags, Joe Pyfer, taking on Marc-Andre Power Bar Bario, dude. And yeah, I think round 1 for this is just a fill out process for the most part. I think round 2 we see Joe Pyfer start to knuckle up Marc-Andre Barrio just a little bit, and he's going to start to backpedal. And then he's probably going to get hurt and shoot in. And then I see Joe Pyfer swinging around back for a rear naked choke. So give me Joe Pyfer to win this fight. Late second, early third round submission, D-Rose. Which way are you going here? Well, actually, let me give you props real quick. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 295 for Joe Pyfer, plus 240 for Marc-Andre Barrio. Joe Pyfer via KO, plus 190. Joe Pyfer via points, plus 220. And Joe Pyfer via submission is plus 550. But once again, if you want to take a look at that submission round combo, Joe Pyfer sub in 2 or 3 is plus 1,300 right now. So even higher than Peyton Talbot. And pretty sure the last time he won, it was a second round submission. So don't count it out. Late second, early third round sub, Joe Pyfer for me. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
Yeah, I'm going to still stick with Joe Pyfer here. And I do think that Marc-Andre Barrio is a tough fight. And I think that, that probably should have been maybe the next fight for him outside of getting that Jack Hermanson jump so early. But I'm with Randy here. I think if he gets the finish, I do think it's by KO. But what I'm wondering what we're going to see from Joe Pyfer is, he kind of went out there and tried to get that early finish against Jack Hermanson. And I would say for the first 8-9 minutes, Joe Pyfer was really boxing up Jack Hermanson. But as the fight went on, we saw how Jack Hermanson was able to use his veteran ability to take over later in the fight. I'm wondering if we're going to get a little bit of a slower start from Joe Pyfer and maybe a little bit of a turn up later in the fight. Maybe trying to dump the gas tank in the second and the third round. So for me, I think a little bit of the value is on him to maybe get a late finish or maybe even win a decision to maybe use a little bit more wrestling. You can get him at round 3 or decision and an alternate round betting prop for FanDuel. Joe Pyfer round 3 or decision. It is plus 150 right now. So I like that. You can bet it straight up or in a parlay piece as well. But I'm not going to lie. I don't have too much action on this fight because I did tell you that I was not confident in picking Joe Pyfer the other day. And that's kind of key and reason why is because I want to see what Joe Pyfer responds from that Jack Hermanson loss. So I still think he should be able to get it done, but I don't know if he's going to be that raging ball of fury in the first 2 rounds like he had been previously.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I am on the late finish with you as well. So we'll move on to the first fight of the pay-per-view, which is Ian Machado Gary taking on Michael Venom Page, or MVP. There's some heat there, D. Rosen. Yeah, me and you were split here. I listened to the interviews. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not a believer in him as much this week. Huh? Oh, no. We're not split here. You were just telling me about how you had confidence in him. Yeah. I listened to all the interviews, dude, and I see what you're saying, but I think this week it's almost trying to convince himself, opposed to some other people. I don't know. It's a little bit of a different tone this week, in my opinion. But hey, I don't know a fucking thing. In my useless fucking opinion, yeah, give me Michael Venom Page to win this fight via decision. I said knockout earlier in the week, but the more I think about it, I agree with what you said. I think Ian Gary might get hurt a little bit earlier and then just want to keep it safe. The last bit of the fight, just try to do what he can to win. So Michael Venom Page to win this fight via points is plus 300, D Rose. But man, would I love to see Michael Venom Page finish Ian Gary? Yes. But I don't know. I see a lot of people on Ian Gary, dude, and I don't hate it. I think his opportunity to win is via submission, though. So Ian Gary via sub, I think, or Michael Venom Page by knockout or points. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah. What I was saying the other day in terms of with Ian Gary was that his confidence, I to me, hearing him in his interviews, I really did like the confidence that he was spewing, basically assessing himself up against MVP. For me personally, I still think, I sent you the joke. I had said that I sent you the video with Ian Gary and his child, and he had his son doing like the Max Holloway, the point down, and he was doing the Conor McGregor, arm strut walk, and I was like, man, Ian's confident he's gonna KO MVP. So I was just kind of joking about that, but I still do think that MVP gets it done, just because I do think that even though MVP does have, the Bellator experience, I still think that he has still fought high-level guys in Bellator. Again, only lost to the best and beat a few of the best that he was also matched up against as well. And I thought the Kevin Holland fight was I thought it was just an eye-opener for UFC fans in general, because a lot of people just hadn't really been paying attention to Bellator over the last few years. And not that I've been watching every Bellator fight, but I've definitely been keeping up with MVP, and I've always, make sure I watch him, because the dude, he's super fun. His style is super awkward. It's just going to be hard to hunt him down. And I think that's going to be the big part for Ian Gary. Ian Gary's got super sharp leg kicks, so I could see Ian Gary maybe hitting him up with some leg kicks if he is to be able to win. Me personally, I do think this fight is going to go to decision. I could see, as you said, MVP landing a big shot early. Because we have seen Ian Gary hurt in a few fights before. As the chat was saying the other day, he got lit up by Song Kanan in that fight. Jeff
and
Neal
the Jordan Williams fight.
Yeah, Jordan Williams lit him up a little bit, and Jeff Neal tagged him a couple times as well. So it's not like it's not impossible for him to get hit, but I do think it is going to decision. And right now, you can get the fight to go to decision if you're not confident in picking either or. at -166. I feel very good about this because it will either be a pretty fun fight that goes the distance, or it could fuck around and be a boring ass fight, and they just stare at each other for 3 rounds too. So I like the fight to go to decision at -166, or for me, Michael Page right now by points is +300. I mean, I really, man, I'm about to play that right now as we're saying it because +300, that's crazy because he's +138 money line. Yeah, that's wild, but yeah, that's definitely a playable line right there for him by points at +300.
I agree, man. So we will move on to the we got Tim saying takedowns are key. Yeah, if Ian Gary is able to get the takedowns, this should be an easy fight for him. But I guess we'll see. We haven't really seen him shoot in the UFC yet. So we'll move on to the PBF of the night. For those of you that don't know what that is the piss break fight of the night. If you are in the T-Mobile Arena and you got to take a piss, this is the fight where you can do so, staying in those long-ass lines. This is Macy Chason taking on Mayra Shitara Bueno Silva. Yeah, man, and what I said earlier in the week, I think the size is going to be a big difference, dude. And this is Macy Chason on weigh-in day, dude. And, look at her stomach from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, dude. She's already starting to swell up, man. Imagine how big she's going to be tomorrow, dude. Shitara fought down at 125 a few times, made it with ease. We saw Macy Chason miss 145 a few times, dude. Size isn't a big factor in a lot of fights, but in women's MMA, I do think it is a factor. So currently odds for this fight, Mayra Bueno Silva -108, Macy Chason -108. But I like Macy Chason to win this fight via points at +175. But it probably shouldn't be betting on this one if I'm going to be honest. But I'm going Macy Chason via points. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
I'm not. You already know how I feel about this fight, so
you love it. It's your favorite one on the card. You're like, this should have been main eventing for the interim 135-pound champion.
I mean, I don't understand why Dana just didn't make this fight for UFC 300, the main event then, instead of calling Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. I mean, that was just dumb. I mean, you had this fight there, and this fight's a featured bout on this card. Golly, that is brutal. But I still think Macy Chason wins. Again, I'm not going to put too much action on this. If you were to bet the money line at -110 right now, I mean, it's even money. I think Macy Chason is the better fighter overall. I think how this fight's going to play out, it's going to be a lot of clinch fighting. I think it's going to be a lot of clinch fighting. And then Chitara is going to end up getting tired. And then she's going to end up
I've only pissed my pants once waiting on dude. D-Rose, I'm telling you, the lines, you can miss 2 rounds of a fight. You can go run when a fight is being scored. You're like, all right, I seen the whole fight. It is what it is. You can run from then and then miss all the interim time and then 2 rounds of the next fight just waiting in line to piss, dude. It's absolutely nuts.
Sheesh. Yeah, but I am with that's absolutely brutal. When someone's in there pissing their pants, standing in line, dude, that would be absolutely awful. It's like, dude, I might as well just keep pissing my pants the rest of the night. I've already done it once.
Floor seat too. Oh man.
Yeah, I've already pissed my pants once. You know what? These pants are just gonna be nice and wet by the end of the night. But I guess for me, I'd play Macy Chason. You could do the alternate round combo. Her by 3 or decision, round 3 finish or decision at +145 right now. Her by decision is +1 is at +175. I just wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing Mayra Bueno Silva end up going for a bunch of submissions and takedowns similar to the Rocky fight, end up gassing herself out. Macy Chason, I think the bigger is going to be the stronger of the two, kind of wearing her out. I wouldn't be surprised if she wore her out in the 3rd round and got a finish. So if I am to play this, I'd probably pay that round 3 or decision at +145 for Macy Chason.
Yeah, I am on the same one as you, D Rose. But if you want to do just for the memes, Mario Bueno Silva sub 1-2 is plus 420. If she wins, I believe it's going to be some kind of round one knee bar, like the Stephanie Egger fight, something like that. That Irina Alexeyeva did over Stephanie Egger. That's what I believe is going to happen if Mario Bueno Silva is to win this fight. What a terrible fight to be on the main card pay-per-view. Come on, Dana. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. D Rose doesn't though. He's like this is the certified banger of the night.
Yeah. You should go back to the podcast Wednesday and listen to me talk about this fight and let me know what I think about it.
All right, Nero. So we'll move on to the featured fight of the night. That is Roman, the Caucasian Dolidze, taking on Anthony Lionheart Smith. And man, podcast earlier in the week, I said I want to see the face-offs because I think these guys are the same size. And D Rose, am I wrong?
I think they're the same height. I think Anthony Smith's a little bit thicker. If I say.
But the height was like 6'4" to like 6'1".
6'2".
Yeah, but there's no height difference. They are the same height. Honestly, you could say maybe Roman by a hair because he has hair. Like you could say that he's a little bit taller, dude. I'm still on Roman Dolidze here. Currently odds for this fight plus 122 for Anthony Smith, minus 150 Roman Dolidze. And yeah, I've said it a lot tonight, and I'm going to keep saying it. You ready for this prop, D-Rose? Roman Dolidze by sub in round 2 or 3 is plus 2,500. We haven't seen Anthony Smith get subbed many times at all, but I do know if you look back on his Tapology, dude, he has been knee barred before, and Roman Dolidze goes for those, man. So, man, Roman Dolidze sub 1-2 plus 1,600. Roman Dolidze sub 2-3 plus 2,500. Yeah, that is also in my retirement parlay. If we can get super lucky and we get a Roman Dolidze round 2 sub, we will be sitting pretty at the end of tonight. But I am going Roman Dolidze sub round 2. Which way are you going here, DeRose?
For me, I'm still going to stick with Anthony Smith here. And again, just the reason why I think that even though Roman does offer a legitimate threat on the ground, I just think Anthony Smith's jiu-jitsu is going to be able to combat that.
Shout out Thunderbird for the donation. I appreciate you, Thunderbird. $10. I appreciate it. Dude, on tonight's stream is like an entire month of what I get from YouTube. So I truly do appreciate you guys. You guys helped your boy out so much tonight. You guys have no idea. Sorry, D-Rose, for cutting you off, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But no, I'm still going to stick with Anthony Smith. I just think that Roman, while his ground game is good, I think Anthony Smith's jiu-jitsu can cancel out Roman's. And I just think that Anthony Smith's going to be the better striker. Roman plots a lot when he's walking forward, so he's very heavy on his front foot. If there's anything that we've seen from Anthony Smith, that dude's got some nasty leg kicks. I mean, we saw what he did to Jimmy Crute. Dude, he landed like 2 leg kicks against Vitor Petrino, and Vitor Petrino was like running for the fences, trying to get a takedown just so he wouldn't have to keep eating those leg kicks. I could see him doing something similar to Roman, to where I'm not going to say that he's going to end up finishing Roman, but I think he lands a couple leg kicks and ends up really compromising Roman. And I still think that he can end up using his Anthony Smith use his striking, boxing, and distance control to get the decision win. But for me personally, I think Anthony Smith has a multitude of ways to get it done. He can knock him out, he can submit him, or he can win by decision. I just think the money line is just good enough to play for me. If you're feeling Anthony Smith, I mean, a plus 122 right now, good parlay piece. Or for
5
me,
points, he's plus 370. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's a long shot play for me. But what I'm looking to play personally, and I will tell you, I actually have in a couple of parlays, is Anthony Smith straight up money line, and that's at plus 122 right now. So for me personally, what I'm playing in a couple is Anthony Smith by decision, or Anthony Smith straight up.
Another one we are split on, D-Rose. And if you think that we're going to stop being split here, nope, because we are split on the next two as well. So D-Rose on Anthony Lionheart Smith. And I'm on the Caucasian Roman Dolidze. So we'll move on to the co-main event of the evening, which is Diego Lopez taking on T-City, Brian Ortega. And earlier in the week, we thought this was going to be at 145. And apparently last night, Diego Lopez got the call around 4 a.m. that Brian Ortega couldn't get below 150 pounds. So UFC wanted to make it at 155 pounds, dude. And dude, Ortega on the scale looks like shit. Yeah. Like he kind of looks like a bag of milk, man. And I'm not saying he's always shredded, but usually weigh-in day, you see him have some ab definition, dude. And he kind of looks like ass up there. I know it was short notice, late notice, dude. But man, just looking at the two, you're like, somebody was ready to fight and somebody was not ready to fight. This makes me feel great about picking Diego Lopez. Earlier in the weekend, D Rose's hair is on the line for the thumbnail. He did pick Brian Ortega. So if Diego Lopez comes out here and, makes D Rose eat his words, then the hair is goodbye. Man, this is one that I guess I was confident in Diego Lopez earlier in the week. And then last night I was like, today I was like, damn, this is at 155 now. I'm not as confident in it. So I started betting the fight to start round 2 and a whole bunch of stuff. So the fight to start round 2 is minus 290. I think that's a solid parlay piece for this fight to start round 2. I also don't mind the over 1.5 if you're able to find that. But I am still going Diego Lopez to win the fight. Give me Diego Lopez to win the fight via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
For me, I'm still going to stick with T-City here. He had said earlier in the week that, and I even sent you the interview where he was talking about like, man, it's going to be hell trying to make 145, but we're going to try to make it. Like he was not going to say that he was indicating that he wasn't going to make weight. He definitely intended on it, but he kind of let us know ahead of time, like, man, this is going to be hell. I think that weight cut ended up being hell for him. I am with you though in terms of that.
Riley, you're the man.
Yes, sir, Riley. I am with you just in terms of that round 2 start, minus 290. I am actually playing that on a couple of different parlays, or not a couple, but I got it in like 1 or 2, I believe. But I do have that in one, and I got Brian Ortega straight up. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with that because I think the dude's got, like I said, an absolute granite chin.
He was up there looking like KG, like this past weekend.
but to be fair though, like he's never had a crazy physique though. You can go back to the zombie fight. You can go back to
there's a difference in that and what we usually see. There's usually a little definition there, but he just kind of looks like a bag of milk today.
Because he's 10 pounds heavier. That makes sense. But he's never been a shredded dude. I mean, go back to the Yair fight where he looked really good just last year. Brian Ortega has never been the physique dude. He's just been the dude who's all grit and all dog that goes in there and takes a beating and then gives it right back to his opponent and then finishes them. So I do think this can be a dog fight. And I just think Brian Ortega's versatility and his striking, and I think just a little bit more of the cleaner striker between him and Diego Lopez. I think that's what takes T-City to victory here, and I think it's by decision. For me, I'm actually going to play Brian Ortega. I got a little underdog parlay, and I might have him involved in it. But also, you can get Brian Ortega by points at plus 340. I think that's how he gets it done, and I like that for like a little long shot bet as well. Brian Ortega by decision.
I gotcha. I'm gonna pull up this page real quick because you'll see what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying. He does look flubbier, but it's because he's 10 pounds heavier. I mean, we gotta we gotta acknowledge that he's coming in at 55 instead of 45.
Yeah, but I don't. So is Diego Lopez, though.
I know, but Diego Lopez is also that dude's got some definition. I mean, you can even go just back to his last few fights. I mean, dude, go back to the fight where he fought Sadiq Yusuf. If you get the picture of him when he's throwing that uppercut against Sadiq, like, dude, look at his arm, and his arms are absolutely ripped. T City has never had that figure. He's 1 foot. He's 145
But you see
pounds.
what I'm saying? But
right,
he's
145 pounds.
There's definition usually there, as where today,
it's 145 versus 155, and we're talking about a 2.5 week notice. I'm not that surprised that he does not look that ripped and shredded. He never has. While he might look a smidge better in that he had a full training camp and he's fighting down 10 pounds lighter. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he had to suck himself dry to make that weight class versus him being comfortable at 155. I mean, that's just natural.
I'm just saying he just, even his facial,
he doesn't look great.
He just looks like he's like, nah. Yeah.
I'm not arguing that he doesn't look great, but I'm saying that he's never had the Josh Emmett physique. You know, he's never been shaped like Ilia Topuria. He's never been that way. But as Mo said, yeah, you know, Diego Lopez, that dude's been a tank. So yeah, I'm not surprised by his muscle definition at all, because he's been that way since he's been in the UFC.
All right, so me and D-Rose still split here. I am on Diego Lopez. D-Rose is on T-City, Brian Ortega. That's a tough one for me, though, because T-City, long time been one of my favorites. Main event time. If y'all haven't already, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Alex Pereira, minus 148. Your favorite. Yuri Prochazka, plus 120. The dog. There's no magic allowed in the octagon this Saturday, D-Rose. If you didn't know, those are the rules. No magic allowed. Yeah, man. Yuri looks good, dude. He looks like he was training, ready to go, and I don't know, something about this fight this week just tells me, yeah, this is the one. Yuri's got this one. I have my Shama shirt on, my Alex Peloton Pereira shirt on. In all reality, he probably knocks Yuri out. But dude, something tells me, I got a tingle in the back of my neck this week that Yuri Prochazka, we see a round 2, round 3 knockout. We see the storm coming, and he harnesses that storm, and then he puts the perfect storm on Alex Pereira, just like he did Alexander Rakic and everyone else that he finishes, dude. Yuri Prochazka, round 2, round 3 knockout is the way I see this going, I think. And then it sets it up perfectly for a trilogy fight, dude. Peloton versus Yuri 3, dude. Somewhere else down the line. That's like MMA fans' dream, dude. This is like my favorite fight. I would watch this fight every fucking weekend. I wouldn't care, dude. I'm like, all right, here we go. Yuri and Alex again. Yeah, dude. I love both these fighters, dude, and I just love watching them fight. Yeah, I cannot sit down when Yuri Prochazka is fighting, though, so I cannot go against them. Yuri Prochazka KO round 2, 3, or 4 is currently plus 450. Yuri Prochazka KO 2 or 3, which is the exact prop that I'm on, is plus 550. Give me Yuri Prochazka weathering the storm, round 2 KO over Peloton, Alex Pereira, and set us up for the trilogy later on or early next year. Which way are you going here, man?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. That would actually be a badass trilogy if we were to get to that point, because yeah, dude, both of them, like, of course, like Yuri, I'm like super like excited when he's getting ready to fight, and I get nervous because I'm like, this dude's about to go to war. But when I get ready to watch Alex fight, like, dude, I get like a scared, nervous energy. Like, dude, I watch him and the stare downs, Alex. And I'm like, dude, if I saw that dude in a dark alley, I'm murdering myself so he doesn't murder me. Like, I'm not letting this dude get his hands on me. Like, he is the scariest dude in the world standing across from. Like, I would have to imagine that would put some type of intimidation factor to his opponents. Yuri's not going to be one of those dudes, though. I'm still going to stick with Alex here. I still think he gets it done. And we know the styles anyway, because neither of these dudes really end up going to decision regardless. And also, I think just with the short notice nature, I think it's just going to set up for a finish here. I do think Alex ends up getting the knockout. And for me, I do like the round prop here, the KO TKO round prop combo. And you can get Alex Pereira KO rounds 2, 3, or 4. So you can get all 3 rounds included. Rounds 2, 3, or 4 at plus 310 right now on FanDuel. So there's a very good chance that I'm going to end up playing that actually straight up. I do like that. I do like that bet a lot. And I think that's how he ends up getting it done. So for me, that's what I'm going to be looking at playing in a couple different parlays. I mean, for me, Alex Pereira by KO. I mean, money line, he's minus 148. By KO, he's plus 115. You might as well just end up betting the money line. But if you're trying to get a little bit more juice for the squeeze, yeah, I'm definitely going to look at try to get some type of round combo. That 2, 3, 4 at plus 310. Yeah, sounds good to me, Alex. Let's go ahead and bring it up.
All right. So me and Dero split on this one, and truly, this is one that I don't want to pick a winner in. So in the parlays that I'm going to show you guys, and probably most of what I've sent you, D-Rose, I have this to start round 4, and I have no at minus 230. So as long as this don't start the 4th round, dude, we're going to win something. And I don't think this gets to the 4th round, D-Rose. How about you?
No, I don't think so. Of course, the time we're pretty confident that it won't is when it will. But yeah, I would say at the longest, the 3rd at the longest. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right. So with that being said, those were our UFC 303 predictions and picks, our final ones. So let's get into the fun part, the change to the cheddar, our bets and our parlays. I have $50 exactly in bets that I'm going to show you guys. I believe it's 6 different parlays. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's 6 different ones. 2 are my safety boosted ones, and then we got 2 from D-Rose as well. So with that being said, let's get into the parlays that I have made up, cooked up for you guys, hoping to cash this weekend. We've been cashing, y'all. We've been cashing. We cashed one this past weekend, so hopefully we can keep it rolling. So my first safety parlay, D-Rose. So I'm going to give you my first 2 safety parlays first. They are boosted parlays. So if you have FanDuel or if you have DraftKings, make sure you opt in to get your boosted parlays. DraftKings will match it all the way up to 100% if you add 10 legs. But this one right here, it's just the 5 legs, so it is boosted 50%. And let me scoot in a little bit closer so I can read. It is a 7 leg. It is boosted to plus 933. It is Ray Sayara versus Carlos Hernandez to start round 2 at minus 310. Martin Buday money line. The Peyton Talbot versus Giannis Gamori to start round 2. Charles Air Jourdain versus Gene Silva over a round and a half. Joe Pfeiffer money line. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze to start round 2. And Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka under 3.5 rounds at minus 275. So $15 on that will win us back $154.99. So $155. That's my first safe one. And my second safe one is another boosted one from FanDuel. Also a 7 leg. Basically the same thing, but a little bit different. Ray Sayara versus Carlos Hernandez will start round 2. Martin Buday moneyline. Jillian Robertson moneyline. Peyton Talbot versus Giannis Gamori to start round 2. Joe Pfeiffer moneyline. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez to start round 2. And Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka to start round 2. So hopefully we can hit one of those and double up all of our money that we're betting with this weekend. So I'm going to show you guys 2 that are getting a little bit more risky Then I'm going to let D Rose show you his two. And then we are going to be full degenerates and try to retire this weekend. So first one where we're trying to get a little bit risky is a 2-leg. And for 2 legs, D Rose, $5 to win 450. It is a Martin Boudet sub round 1 or 2, and then Peyton Talbot sub 2 or 3. Those 2 legs together, $5 will win you $450 back. It's a lot to ask for, but could it happen? Yes, it's only 2 things. And our next one, one that I truly feel pretty confident on, though, $10 to win 529. It is Race RR by points. Jillian Robertson sub 2-3, and Macy Chason by points. $10 on that will win $529.38. So those are my safety ones, and then two of them that are a little bit risky. $5, $10 to win, are around 500. So D Rose, I'm gonna pull yours up, and I'm gonna let you speak on yours, man.
Yeah, so this one is going to be my pay for the pay-per-view parlay.
Which I did not have this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, one that I actually feel pretty good about. So and this is paying for the pay-per-view plus give me a little bit of change left over. Maybe go grab you a McDouble from McDonald's before the fight starts. We're going to go Martin Boudet by submission or on points, Julian Robertson money line, Charles Jourdain by submission or on points. And for round 2 to start, and Cub Swanson versus Andre Feely with 30% odds boost on FanDuel that gets us to plus 934. So $10 gets a total payout of 103. I like for that to hit. And this is just my little underdog parlay. I could have put 10 on it, but I actually got this is almost a repeat of another bet that I have, so that's why I went a little bit less money on here. I basically have Anthony Smith and Brian Ortega in another bet for like $15. So, but I wanted to put Benicius Oliveira in there as well at the plus 200. So I'm really doubling down on Anthony Smith and Brian Ortega here. But betting them 3 gets you at plus 1351 on your odds. I put $5 on this to pay out at 72.59, but hey, if you bet 10 to pay out, hey, what about 135, 145 or so? Yeah, that'd be pretty good odds for me in terms of underdogs that I think gets the job done this weekend.
All right. So, sorry, just gonna click these comments. Y'all got 4th of July, no sweat bet. I got Canada Day, no sweat bet Saturday. No, we don't have that yet. At least I don't.
I was going to say, yeah, I would imagine that they would probably end up having something later on in the week, but the thing is, it's probably going to be on sports that we're not going to be really too interested in betting on, unless you're, you might bet some baseball. I know you get a little crazy every now and then with certain bets, but
some WNBA unders, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I know you like to do stuff like that, but anything else for me personally, it's probably not going to be anything I'm going to be betting.
All right, you guys. So let's get crazy. Let's get wild. The first one I'm going to show you is $1.04, and you're going to be like, why is it $1.04? Well, it's because the next one that I'm going to show you, I couldn't put any more than $3.96 on it. So this is just to equal the $5 to make it even 50. But this is where we're getting real risky right now, D Rose. This is $1.04 to win $5,450. Ricky Simone via points. Ray Sayara by points. Gene Silva, 3 or decision. Joe Pfeiffer, 3 or decision. Michael Page by points. Macy Chason by points. Roman Dolidze, round 1 or 2. And Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka to go over a round and a half. That doesn't look impossible, does it? Like,
no, it doesn't. I mean, and like I said, I even told you I was thinking Joe Piper round 3 decision. So
yeah, Michael Page points. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we got a chance here. And our big daddy this week, it is $3.96. And why is it that much? Because I couldn't put any more on it. But this is the biggest parlay I've ever shared here, D Rose, is a $3.96 to win $998,900 $917.92. I cooked one up earlier, D Rose. That was $1 to win 8 billion. Needless to say, it didn't let me bet it because I couldn't even bet nonsense on it. Like, 'cause it was like still like I think for a penny, it was like 6 million still, dude. It was like a crazy number. It's like, you can't bet this. So yeah, the craziest parlay I've ever shared, but hey, it's under $4 to win $1 million. Are we going to hit it? Probably not, but can we try? Yes. It goes Martin Boudet, sub 2 or 3, Peyton Talbot, sub 2 or 3, Joe Pfeiffer, sub 2 or 3, Roman Dolidze, sub 2 or 3, and Yuri Prochazka, KO 2, 3, or 4. You see all those humongous plus numbers. We ain't supposed to hit this. And if you guys bet this along with me and we all hit it, FanDuel is going to be real upset when they have to pay out about $30 million to us. So if you're betting that one, good luck this weekend. Please remember, don't be out there spending all your money that you need on bills and all that shit, because at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. D-Rose, I am going to let you predict the fight for the week. I prefer if it was the main or co-main event, but whichever one of those two, feel free to think on it for just a second. I'll minimize myself and I'll show you guys what the prize is for the weekly predict the fight game. So let me get the banner up real quick. And yeah, let's go full screen. Maybe. There we go. So the prize for this week's Predict the Fight game, we do have 10 cards, I believe. It is starting off with a XR for the Karate Hottie, Michelle Gomez on here. This is from 2023 Chronicles. That is out of 199. From 2023 Select, we have a red disco for Baddies, Martin Budai, red disco rookie at that. We got some T-City cards from 2020 flagship T-City Brian Ortega refractor. That's tops. From 2019 museum collection, we've got a T-City Brian Ortega out of 159. I believe that's the copper. From 2022 Chronicles, I have like 6 of these exact same card. We've got a T-City Brian Ortega red out of 199. We got a Body Bags Joe Pfeiffer green retail from 2023 Prism. Also have the same card in silver from 2023 Prism. And then green retail of Alex Poatan Pereira from 2023 Retail Prism. Also his rookie card as well. We also have a Anthony Lionheart Smith 2024 Topps Chrome out of 299. And the topper this week is this. You're like, what is that on the card? This is an Anthony Smith silver that when I went to Las Vegas to Noche UFC, I was able to meet Anthony Smith and I got him to sign this. So I can send you a picture of him signing the card if you want, but if you don't, I understand. But here is the proof of me meeting Anthony Smith. And then, yeah, I got him to sign a couple cards, and this was one of the ones that he signed. So I'll be giving this away if one of you guys can predict the fight for this weekend. So it is all, I think it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All 10 of these cards, along with 2 packs of any of the available blasters that I have left. So with that being said, D-Rose, which fight should the members have to predict this week?
Yo, there's a lot of good stuff in there for these boys to get. So y'all better be doing your homework, doing your research, and getting these get these predict the fights right. So let's go with the co-main here. Go and try to keep the boys on your toes with the versatility of finishes from either one of these dudes. So we just don't know how this fight can end, and I think that's what makes it a little bit more exciting. All
right, hell yeah. So that being said, head on over to the page real quick and take a look at where after the live stream tonight on the community tab for the members, it'll be a photo of Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez right up here. And just like every single week, the rules and instructions will be right up here. Ain't anything changing, y'all. Same shit we do every single week. So we just need the members to correctly predict the fight, the winner, round, and method. And yeah, if you are able to predict the fight correctly, then you win those cards, and we'll open up some packs on Monday. And if there's a tie, then we will have to do a wheel spin. But to try to combat a tie, if you think a decision happens, please put a scorecard. And if you think a finish happens, please put a time. We won't be using the scorecard or time unless there is a tie. So if you are the only one to call the correct winner, round, and method, then you win. So that being said, that is this week's Predict the Fight game. Shout out D Rose for picking a good fight to predict in. Got some T-City cards in there. And yeah, I've been a T-City fan for a while. I got a lot of T-City cards. So that's why there was quite a few in there, because I was like, that's a few that I have some extras in, but they're pretty old and pretty sick. So let's go through the chat one last time before we get out of here, D Rose. This is a good card, dude. I am super excited for this fight night, man. Like, I know we were expecting Connor, but man, I'm still super stoked for this card, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, the card ended up getting better. I know the fights are going to be 2 weeks notice for a good majority of them, so still going to be, a little bit left to be seen with that. But in terms of the actual matchups, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the card got better.
Caitlin, baby, yeah, Caitlin Clark. That's what you do. Just bet Caitlin Clark. Nah,
Pretty
dude.
much.
I just lose it every time I miss an Angel Reese's pay, dude. She's mean, dude. She's got too much of an attitude for me, dude. D Rose always. D Rose, solid picks. Thanks for being here. Hell yeah! Shout out.
Thank you guys.
Man, James Vick just got pulled. Just got put out bad. I mean, does it surprise you? That's like one of your favorite things to make fun of, is like James Vick getting knocked out like that. And like
no,
Greg
the funniest
Hardy.
one. No, the funniest one was when he got knocked out by Gaethje, just because, of course, the run up, get done up, and all that stuff. But dude, when Gaethje hit him and like his arm literally like spun like this, and he crumpled like an old tower, like an old building that was getting destroyed from the bottom falling out. Like it was absolutely crazy.
Is that on the card? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're talking about at this point.
Oh, he's talking about the Anthony Smith card.
Oh yeah. It's it is on card auto. I got that signed in person from Anthony Smith. Yeah. So it'll be a cool one. There's no way this fight is horrible. Yeah, it'll be a fantastic night of cards. Thanks to Rose and Matt for another great show. Hell yeah. Glad y'all were able to stop by and make it. Chandler's wife is in his DMs.
Your wife is in DMs.
That's why he couldn't make the fight, dude. Conor McGregor is playing this all. He ain't coming back. That's kind of how I'm feeling at this point too, Randy. But only time will tell. So, yeah, with that being said, my name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of the screen. This is the Golden Octagon, and this was changed to Cheddar. You see the green lights on, baby. We won this past weekend. Trying to keep it rolling into this weekend. I believe the last time we did this, D Rose, you gave out like a winning parlay, and I gave out a winning parlay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the last time D Rose was here on Change of Cheddar, we both gave out winning parlays. So hopefully, able to do that again, pay for y'all's pay-per-view this weekend, and hopefully I can hit that retirement parlay, because I would love to not have to go to work on Monday morning. But yeah, with that being said, once again, if you're betting on fights this weekend, please be careful, y'all. At the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and anything can happen. I've lost 13 leg parlays where I would have won $20,000 from like $1 if, one punch didn't land. So at the end of the day, that's what happens. So if you're betting hundreds and thousands of dollars, just be careful, y'all. Just be careful. Hopefully you can afford it. But that's not me. I'm betting $5, $10, $15 like you see D Rose as well. But with that being said, we're going to get out of here. D Rose, do you want to do the post-fight recap tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm down. Since I figured since there's no fight card next week, we would get a nice little fresh recap right after the pay-per-view and get our fresh and honest thoughts. So, and shouldn't be too long of a card. My biggest complaint is always having too many 5-round fights on a card. So Only one 5-round fight this time. Probably not going to go the distance either, so we should be able to get to a pretty decent start time tomorrow.
All right. So catch us right back here live tomorrow night after the pay-per-view. Me and D Rose will give you our thoughts and breakdowns of what just happened, and I will not be sober. I never am on them. It's always quite funny. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night over here on the Golden Octagon. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that cyber screen. We appreciate you guys for stopping by. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace
Out.